Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So today is a continuation off of the last video, or videos, depending on how long that last video was. As I look back on my camera, I was filming for quite some time. So I'm not sure at this point if I had to split that up or not, if this is video 2 or 3, but that will be in the title. So if you missed the previous video or videos and you would like to watch them, the link will be in the description box down below. Okay, so as not to be confusing, I'm moving on. So these are the tags that I created in that video, and I used paint and a jelly plate. So I wanted to do a different option for those of you here on my channel who might be following along but don't have a jelly plate. Originally in that video, I mentioned Distress Oxide inks. I started thinking about the fact that that's water, that reacts with water, and I'm trying to decoupage over it, and I didn't have Distress Glaze on hand. And again, that's more products, so I'm going to use paints. Again today, the cheap Apple Barrel acrylic paints from Walmart. And we're just going to do some water mixing and a piece of glass. And the reason I'm not using my glass mat, see all that reflection? I get really bad reflection. So I'm going to use a piece of glass, but then I thought that might be helpful too for those of you who don't have a glass surface area, to just know that you could grab a picture frame. I was actually going to stop at Dollar Tree and pick up a larger 8x10 photo frame, because then I could just use that, keep it in the frame, it doesn't matter, and then you're not going to cut your fingers on the glass. I am not going to recommend taking it out of the frame. If you just get a cheap Dollar Tree photo frame with a piece of glass on it, you're going to be able to do this. And to cut down on all the glare, I'm going to use this instead of my glass mat because I get the worst glare. All right, so these were the tags from that previous video that took forever. I was in the groove apparently. So today I prepped a little bit, and I'm definitely not doing all of these. I'll probably paint a couple and then I'll decoupage one of them because all of that is in the previous video. But I did go through and prep a bunch of cards that I can use in the future. Again, super simple. I just used gesso to stick all of my little background pieces on. So if you want to see how I did that, be sure to check out the other video. I just wanted to give you a glimpse here. And I'm not worried about this not being stuck down all of the way, because as we add more paints and sealers, it's not going anywhere. All right, where was I? Let's see. I had to go fix my camera so it quit shaking. This one I was getting a little more creative as I went along. This one has 3 of those little birds that I cut out. Just this little piece, and then I put that bird down at the bottom. Now, because of the fact that I know this technique with the paint and the water isn't going to cover as much surface, I went over the black areas again with gesso twice so they would blend into the background just a little bit more. I do like them showing because it definitely looks like a junk journal that way, and it's another layer of dimension. So it was a little more, in the background. All right, these are the 2 that I'm going to work with. I really like those birds layered up on there. That one's fun. So I have my piece of glass here. Like I said, I would recommend using something a little bigger than this piece of glass, which is a 5x7 picture frame. I would use a bigger picture frame or any type of glass that you already have. So like I mentioned, I'm just sticking with my cheap Apple Barrel acrylic paints. These are available at Walmart, and they are cheap, which is nice. So I'm just adding 1 little drop of paint, and then I'm going to spritz it with some water a few times. And then I'm just going to use a paintbrush and get that paint moving around a little bit. And this is very basic art journaling, and I love doing this in Bible journaling and things. So I know that I want this, a little bit of this color on here, so I'm just going to apply some of that and squish it around. Love that color. That's really pretty. And for those of you who are curious, in case you want to know, that is sky blue in that color. And I want to add a little bit to this one. I'm just going to spritz it some more. I love it. It makes that paint go a little bit farther. Okay, and before I go any further, I'm just going to hit this with the heat gun and dry it off. Okay, so these are pretty much dry now, and I've decided I want a little bit more of this color because I'm going to go in with some deeper colors later. So I'm just going to add one more little drop of paint to my water. Make sure it's nice and wet. And just do some more smooshing here. And this time I want that to run a little bit more. So I'm just going to spritz my card, kind of maneuver it how I want it. It's better. Okay, and I'm going to dry that one more time. Okay, so I'm going to use this piece of heart paper. This is a ripped piece of paper that I just have as a scrap, and I'm going to pick up some of that paint and put it on there. I think I've dealt with the shaking now. It should stop. And just picking it up and putting it on there so it's not, you know, all being wasted. And it makes a pretty piece of paper for later. And I'm just going to clean this off. So here are our tags so far, and I think that is so pretty. I am going to go in with the antique white again, like I did. I say again because I did it on the previous tags. Just a drop of paint, a little bit of water. Sorry. And you just play with it until, you know, you like what you see. It's pretty simple. So there they are so far. I think this time I'm going to go in with that deeper blue, and this is the color I used on my other tags, this Admiral blue. This is all dried on the tip there. I'm going to use the tiniest drop I can get. One little drop, because I know how dark this is. And we'll see. And then after this color, I plan on going over it with this territorial beige. Okay. See, that's a dark color, but it's so pretty. But I really want this one watered down. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, I'm going to spray that one. And I think it's going to stay just like that. I want to be careful not to make it too dark so I don't, you know, take away from the napkin. I'm going to decoupage. Okay, I think I need a little at the top. And now I'm going to just hit it with some heat again. So here we have the blue, and I'm going to go in with this brown, one little drop, and do the same thing. I'm going to try to work on getting some of these white parts filled in. If that would be too much brown, I'm going to go back with the lighter blue color, I think, and see what I can do. Let's see. Oop. I know I was just jumping in at the beginning of this video, but like I mentioned, if you missed any of the previous videos, that definitely has to move. I will have those linked down below because I realized I was jumping in. I was all excited to just kind of pick up where I left off last night. And yeah, I started thinking about that as I was spending the time drying my tags. I really like that. I think that's awesome. I'm creating these tags for my journal that I'm working on. Yeah, I'm using some flashcards, that are just kind of the cheaper, you know, ones that you can find at Goodwill and stuff. I like that. I actually think I'm going to, move that around. Try to fill in a little bit of those grooves around that leaf. I kind of like that about the water. You can manipulate it to do what you need it to do. All right, I'm going to hit this with the dryer, and I actually think I'm pretty happy with this. And the other thing I didn't mention, like if you tend to have too much water and it's pooling, you can always take like a dry napkin and kind of pick it up a little bit if you want to. I did have it a little bit of pooling there, but it's all right. All right, so I am very happy with this. I think they're gorgeous. In fact, I think I like them more than the jelly printing, you know, using the jelly plate like we did in the previous video. I love this. I think this is beautiful. So next we're going to do our stamping again. And you guys, I'm sorry for that light coming in from the background. It is a very sunny day here, which is nice. I am going to use some archival ink because it's waterproof. And when I go over it with the Mod Podge, then it isn't going to bleed out. I'm going to use Vintage Photo again. And this is the stamp that I've been using for a little bit of a script background. It has a lot going on. It's a collage stamp. But I'm just trying mostly to get some of that script. Get some of that script. All right, so I am very happy with this. I think they're gorgeous. In fact, I think I like them more than the jelly printing, you know, using the jelly plate like we did in the previous video. I love this. I think this is beautiful. So next we're going to do our stamping again. And you guys, I'm sorry for that light coming in from the background. It is a very sunny day here, which is nice. I am going to use some archival ink because it's waterproof. And when I go over it with the Mod Podge, then it isn't going to bleed out. I'm just trying mostly to get some of that script. I just want a little bit. You can always go darker later, but I do like using a lighter color first. Just put a little bit down there. And I'm probably going to do some other stamping, so I'm going to leave that one alone. Ink this up again. I hope those of you who had purchased the Wings collection, which is what I'm working on today, projects for my journal, the journal that I release here in my Etsy shop and on my channel. I hope those of you who have it, I hope you're enjoying it. This one's really a stretch for me using some of these darker colors. We're going to see if I can pull it off in the end or not. I'm really wanting to go for a more grungy look. I've mentioned that before. So we'll see. Let's see. I think I would like to use this music stamp. This is something I picked up on Wish years ago. I'm not sure if it's still available. If I can find it, I'll link it down below. And I think for a darker shade, I'm going to use this Ground Espresso. And hopefully I can get this straight. It bugs me when I can't get a music staff stamp straight. Let's see. I think I just want a touch of it here. Maybe, I feel like there's so much going on this one already. I'm going to not put any more in there. And maybe just a touch here. All right, and now that I have these painted and stamped, I'm going to go in with some Mod Podge and just seal it all in. I'm using the matte Mod Podge just so there's a little less shine. It still tends to have some shine to it, but when I go over it with the other medium that I enjoy using to decoupage with, it has a different sheen, but it doesn't bother me too much. So I hope all of you are doing well. I am pretty excited to be doing all of the videos I've been doing in the last day, 2 days now. I have more ideas. I'm just hoping I can keep up with the editing. That's the part that usually is tricky for me because it just takes a long time to sit there and go through everything and clip everything out, but I'm so excited. I'm excited for the ideas coming up with this collection. I really love these. Really love these. I think this might be my new favorite technique so far. Definitely love these. Okay, so I'm just going to hit those with the dryer again really quick and we'll move on to decoupaging. All right, so I'm going to start with this one that has the 3 birds in the background, and I don't want to take away from that, So I think I'm going to use the napkin that came in the collection again. I have really been pulling some feathers out of this. This is a great napkin. And I'm just going to use my water brush. All you really need is a paintbrush and some water. And let's see, there's a lot of blue in this tag, so I think I'm going to maybe take out this black tag. I have to remember the colors that I'm working with. It is not my natural color choices that I would normally work with. So I have to remember these darker colors are what the collection is made of. You know, maybe something like that. Maybe I should go smaller. Is this yellow one? My stomach is starting to growl. I hope that's not picking up on camera. It's definitely lunchtime. What if I... That one seems too little, doesn't it? I like these little guys here. Take them out. Yeah, I love this napkin so much. I was playing with it last night and I was like, I wonder if I have any of these left. I don't know. I don't know if I do or not. Left over from, you know, putting the collections together. Here we go. And for anyone who might be new to my channel and you don't know what I'm talking about, and again, I apologize, I just seem to jump right into this and get started. I release a monthly collection, and let me grab the journal. Every month, there is a Traveler's Notebook size blank journal that comes in the collection along with a kit of supplies that you can use to create and decorate in your journal. So that is where I'm headed with this video, creating some projects to use in my journal. If you're interested in that, my link will be in the description box down below. All right. I don't know. There's a lot of brown in here. Let me just see what one of these little blue feathers would look like. I already used all the tiny blue feathers. There was a small blue feather in here I really liked. Maybe I'll take out this yellow one. And I do want to get this blue one. Okay. There needs to be something here. All right, I think I'm just going to go with that because I know that when I come back in, I'm going to be doing some more layering and adding on the top of that. So that works for me. I'm going to be applying with some Distress Collage Medium just because I love it. You can definitely do this with some, you know, watered down regular Elmer's glue or Mod Podge again. Mod Podge works great. I just really like this Tim Holtz stuff. I love the consistency of it. And I do like the finished result. I feel a little spoiled owning it right now, but I have to say, I need this right side up so I know where to place my feather. Okay. I do want it going off of the tag a little bit. And then I'll trim that up later. switch hands here. We'll see how that works out. My right hand isn't good for many things. Okay. And then this little guy down here. And they just blend away into the background. I like that. Okay, I'm going to let that dry, and then we can do something here on this tag. I was originally wanting to add a little bit of red, and I forgot. So I think I'm going to try to use this napkin. I haven't used this cutie yet. All right, and the napkin I used in the previous video to create this tag, there was another layer of paper because this is the same company. These are some high quality napkins. Did not want me to find that middle layer. Let's see, just to get an idea here. Okay, I am going to take this little bird out right here, but I don't want to waste any of these berries and branches. They're so pretty. So I'm going to be careful not to do that. All right, so I'm just going to stick him down, and then hopefully I can save some of this napkin. Try to smooth that out. Let's see. And I like to take my brush and kind of push the paper down around that die cut I have in there so that it pops up. Okay, so here's a little piece of the napkin from that image, and I think I want to take a little piece of this branch and bring it down on that corner. So let's see what happens with that. Just to bring another little touch of red over here. Okay. And again, I'm just going to work that napkin over that die cut so that I can still see that die cut back there. Okay, I like that. I think I'm going to try to work some red in down here too. Let's see. Maybe, no. Maybe I'll attempt to use this branch down here. I like the way it could come across the card, across the whole tag. And I also don't mind that little piece of coloring there because it really seems to blend in well with the painting. Let's see. Yeah, I like it. I seem less chatty in this video. I think it's because I'm concentrating. I feel like I'm concentrating so hard. But honestly, it's so much fun, you guys. I hope those of you following along with me are making some of these for your journals. You can use any of the tags that came in the collection. You could go over any of those tags. You could also cut up your own out of a file folder or even some heavier cardstock. Although I would recommend using something a little heavier. Otherwise, you're really going to have to layer it up and it'll curl up on you when you're working on it. Like this is a flashcard and it's curling up. So to work that into that die cut again. There. I love that. It makes me want to go back and look at this tag. I feel like it needs some color. It needs a pop of color. I don't know what that means, but I'm loving this red branch. So let me take a little bit of this. Let me take this branch out and see if there's any way we could use it. I don't want to cover up the birds. That's the problem I'm having with this tag. And I don't necessarily want to go over the feather. Maybe I'm going to have to find another way to decorate this tag. I don't think adding any more decoupage over the top of it is what I want to do. I might have to go in, maybe I could go in and rub some gold over those birds or something later. All right, but I think that is it for the decoupaging. I'm just, let's see, that one's drying. This one feels pretty dry. That Tim Holtz stuff does dry pretty quickly, which is nice. My scissors are like, I'm not cutting that. I really need to buy some new scissors. Like on all fronts, all of my scissors are just worn out because I cut things, you know, like glue. That's all right. They're Chic scissors. I'm actually going to take this nail file I have right here and just, yeah, clean up the edges. This one is still a little tacky, so I'm going to hit it with the dryer. All right, so I'm just tearing that piece of napkin off, and again, I'm just going to clean my edges off with this file. It works great. Okay, and one more thing I'm going to do in this video that I did in the last video, I'm going to seal it all up with this acrylic gloss. This is completely unnecessary, but I have found that it makes the tags I don't know, it just makes all the colors pop. Even the colors in the napkin, it tends to make them pop. If I were finishing these tags today and I wanted to add some stickers, and I know I'm going to sew on some coffee dyed paper to the back, if I were adding stickers, I would wait to do this step until after I added the stickers, because that just helps adhere them to the tag a little bit better, but I'll deal with that when I get there, since I'm not using them today and I would like to seal them up and see my finished result. So I'm just grabbing a brush and adding a little drop there on the tag. This was pretty affordable. I think I didn't buy the most expensive one that I saw. I know that much. I will leave a link in the description box down below for anyone who might be interested, but I know you can pick it up, you know, at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. Any type of acrylic varnish is going to work great, but this one, I do really like this one. It's nice. Okay, so just dropping it on the tag there and smearing it around. Well, I'm not really smearing it around. I'm trying to do a good job, but it's super simple. I do want to watch it around these die cuts so it doesn't pool up and, you know, take away from them. Okay, and then I'm going to just hit these with the heat gun. All right, you guys, and that is it. That's it for this video. I will say that in the end, they're both beautiful. I love them both, but I love this painting technique that we did today. It just seems, this is much more muted and blends into the background. The colors on this and the pooling of the paint, it just really makes everything pop. I love it. I love that one. So that was a lot of fun. I'm going to let these finish drying and I'm gonna take a lunch break. So like I mentioned, everything that I can find or that I used will be listed in the description box down below. Anyone who might be interested in checking out the Wings journal, I do have a few of these collections left over in my Etsy shop, so that link will be down below, as well as the video that I've posted on my channel sharing everything that is included in the collection. So check that out if you're interested, as well as a design team that will be playing along with me in this collection. If you want some extra inspiration from them, be sure to go check them out and subscribe to their channels. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.